What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ravi Wadan, and in today's video, I want to show you guys how you can get an amazing lease deal on a 2025 Toyota Tacoma SR5 four-wheel drive. Now, in this video, we're going to take a bit of a different approach. What we're going to do is we're going to find a Toyota Tacoma that's listed for sale near me. I think there's one at the Toyota of Seattle, and what we'll do is we'll plug that particular car in the DriveMatch calculator, and I'll show you how you can leverage the DriveMatch calculator to get an awesome lease deal on any car in the country. It doesn't just have to be the Toyota Tacoma, but I'll show you how you can negotiate your own lease deal, because the DriveMatch calculator is going to pull the residual values, whether you're doing a 36, 24 month lease, and whether you're doing 10, 12, or 15,000 miles. It's going to pull the money factor, and if you're planning on financing the car, because not everybody wants to lease a car, it'll also pull the finance rates. And it's going to pull all of the rebates and incentives that you qualify for, whether you plan on leasing this car or whether you plan on financing this car. So if that sounds good to you, please be sure to like this video and please be sure to follow. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. All right, so in a hypothetical situation, let's say that I'm shopping for this 2025 Toyota Tacoma SR5, or let's say I'm interested in it, and it's located right by my house at Toyota of Seattle. Now, the MSRP on this car is $43,813. Now, as you can see, there's a dealer discount of $1,336, and you'll see that the lease is starting at $397 with $4,778 due at signing. Now, if you're interested in this particular car or any car that you're interested in, all you do is just copy the VIN number. So I'm going to copy that VIN number, and then I'm going to head over to the DriveMatch calculator. Now, what we're going to do is run the lease numbers up here first, then we'll run the finance numbers. That way you can compare, and then that way you can plug in all of the incentives and you can customize the discount and see which option makes the most sense for you. So what we'll do here is click on Enter VIN. I'm going to enter the VIN number, submit VIN, and you'll see that this car automatically populated, 2025 Toyota Tacoma four-wheel drive, double cab, and then I'm going to copy the MSRP, or just remember it, which is $43,813. I'll plug that here, $43,813, and for discount, we're going to we're going to keep that blank for now. The selling price, we're going to just, keep that as the MSRP. We'll get back to that later. Now, in terms of dealer zip, I'm going to make that my home zip code here in downtown Seattle, which is 98101. And now what we're going to see is that the DriveMatch calculator actually pulls the money factor or the rates based on my zip code. Now what you're going to see is you have the standard lease rate here. So the standard lease rate for 36 months is 0.0031, which is 7.44. If you did a 24-month lease to a 35-month lease, it's a 0.0031, which is also a 7.44. And then you have 7.92 down below. Now, if you qualify for Tier 1 credit, you'll see that you can qualify for special lease rates, which are 5.64% across the board, or 0.00235 if you're looking at the money factor. And as you can see here, we do have the credit requirements. So typically, a 720 or higher will get you this Tier 1 credit. So what we're going to do is select on special lease. And then in terms of residual values, we're going to click on TFS, which is Toyota Financial Services Lease Residuals. And if you want to take a look at the residuals, you can see all of them listed right here. And what I'm going to shoot for is a 36-month lease at 10,000 miles a year. So let's go ahead and click on 36 months. We'll do 10,000 miles a year, and you'll see that it pulls the residual value of 75%. Now, this is directly from Toyota Financial Services. And ladies and gentlemen, what you're also going to note is that the money factor, which is listed right here, is also pulled directly from Toyota Financial Services. So if a dealership that you're shopping with, if they're not transparent and don't want to show you the money factor, they might be marking it up. And if they are marking it up, you'll know, because you know what the actual, the buy rate is on the money factor. And if they're marking it up, you'll see that in the paperwork when you are, going to negotiate a car lease. And this is information between the residual value and the lease rates and the lease residuals. This is information that was only available to car dealerships, right, for decades. But now any consumer has access to it if you use the DriveMatch calculator. So What we'll do is we have the 36-month, 10,000 mile a year lease selected. It's a 75% residual value. We have the money factor. We're not going to add the money, we're not going to mark up the money factor because, why would we do that? And then what we're going to do is select the incentives that we qualify for. Now, unfortunately, if I were, shopping for this particular car, I do not qualify for any of the incentives, but as you can see, they are listed here. We have the college graduate rebate, which is $500. You have the military appreciation rebate, which is $500. You have an NFL partner incentive program, which is $500. And if you want to, read into more detail about, how to qualify or what qualifies for these incentives, you can see that the eligibility is listed right here. And then you have lease loyalty, which is $1,000. Now, I unfortunately do not qualify for any of these rebates, so I'm going to leave that blank. There's no additional incentives that I qualify for, so, just in case maybe you had a mailer or you have like a corporate discount, some other type of rebate that you qualify for, you can insert that here, and that's why we kind of created this section. You can see that the acquisition fee automatically pulls. It's $650. Now, for the dealer fee, I'm just going to use $500. I think that's a kind of, that's a good number to use. I think some dealers may charge less, some may charge more, but I think $500 is a pretty conservative estimate. In terms of tax, title, and registration fee, I'm going to go with $750. I live in a state and a city municipality where, tax, title, registration fees are extremely high. And then the Washington tax rate automatically pulls in, which is 10.25%. Now, with the due at signing amount, you can customize this. So right now it's selected to sign and drive, and you'll see that that's $0 due at signing. You can do it with first month's payment due at signing. So here it says $603 due at signing, and then your monthly payment is $603. You can customize it. So you can make it like $2,000. And this $2,000, right, this includes tax, title, registration fees, first month's payment, and acquisition fee. So this is your total out of pocket $2,000. There's no additional cost on top of this $2,000. And now I'm going to leave this at first month, and you'll see that the disposition fee automatically pulls up, which is $350. And for those of you that aren't familiar, the disposition fee is what you pay when you return the vehicle back to Toyota if you wanted to turn your lease in at the end of the lease term. All right, so now let's play around with this lease a little bit, okay? If you can remember, we can play around with the 36-month term. So let's go to a 24-month term and see what that does to the monthly payment. Right now, we're at $603 a month. If we select 24 months, it goes to $708 a month. You can see that the residual value is 80%. But let's go back to 36 months because I like that payment of $615. Now what we're going to do is play with the discount a bit, right? So right now, this car isn't discounted. And this is where we kind of can play with hypothetical situations. Now, if we can get a dealer to discount this car 3%, you can see the monthly payment goes down to $572, with $572 total due at signing. If we can get this dealer to go to 5%, that payment drops from $572 to $543. And if we can get this dealer to go to 7%, this monthly payment drops to $514 a month. I don't know, maybe you guys have a connection, maybe you can get a dealer to be even more aggressive. If you get 9% off, that payment drops to $484. Now let's leave this discount at about 6%. And you can see here that with $528 due at signing, your monthly payment is $528. And let's actually play around with the numbers a bit more. I want to do something really quick. I want to customize the due at signing amount to $2,000. And you can see with $2,000, a monthly payment is $483 a month. And that includes like the sales tax on the payment, right? Because the pre-tax monthly payment is $438. Now, the cool thing with the DriveMatch calculator is, what if you're debating leasing this car or financing this car? So now what we can do is click on finance, and you'll see that the car and VIN is already pulled. The discount carries over 6%. Now with the zip code, I'm going to hit click get finance programs, just like with the lease. And I'm going to click on special APR rates. And here you're going to see the rate coming directly from Toyota Financial Services. You can see that at 60 months, it's 4.99. At 36 months, it's 4.99. And at 72 months, it's 5.99. And again, this is assuming a FICO score of 720 or higher. So we'll click that box and let's just do 72 months. As you can see, it preloads the 5.99% base APR. Again, I do not qualify for any of these rebates, so I'm going to just leave that blank. But if you do qualify, be sure to click these boxes because you'll save some money and you'll be able to see, what you qualify for, what the payment would look like if you qualify for those rebates. It carries over the dealer fee of $500 and the title license and registration fee of $750. And then what we'll do is we'll use a down payment of $2,000, just like the lease. It's $200. And what you'll see is that with $2,000 down, my monthly payment is going to be $748 a month. That's using an APR of 5.99 or 6%. And your total paid on financing this car is going to be $53,836. And with the same $2,000 down, your monthly lease payment is going to be $483 a month. And really quickly, I want to run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this car because I want to show you why leasing this car makes sense. Now, remember, anytime you run this calculation and you get a number over 1.5%, that typically is not a good lease deal in terms of value. It usually makes more sense to finance that particular car. Anytime you're under 1.5%, that's a good lease deal. Under 1.25% is a great lease deal, and under 1% is an amazing lease deal. And if we take the $2,000 that's due at signing on this particular lease and subtract the monthly payment of $483 from that amount, we'll divide this by 36 since it's a 36-month lease, and we'll add the monthly payment of $483 back in. You get an effective monthly payment of $525.13. And when we divide this by this vehicle's MSRP, which is $43,813, you get, let me multiply this by 100, you get 1.19%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is under 1.25%. So in my opinion, this is a great lease deal. And that's why you see such a big, a variation between the monthly lease payment at $483 and the monthly finance payment at $748. There's almost about a $260 difference. So I think if I were shopping for this car, I would look at leasing it. And if I wanted to keep it long term, I would exercise my buyout option at the end of the lease term. And if I wanted to keep it long term, I would just buy it out. And that way it kind of protects me from the downside risk of depreciation. And if I get in an accident and my vehicle's really worth less than the trade-in value at the end of the lease term, I can go ahead and hand that car back in. And if you're interested in the DriveMatch calculator, we do have a free version available. But if you want to use the version that I was using, where you get the real-time lease, finance, and cash calcs, you can compare lease finance and instant program updates. That runs you $20 a month, and you get unlimited pulls, right? So you can do 1,000 cars a month if you wanted to. If you're shopping, realistically, if you're shopping, you can compare lease and finance comparisons on maybe 10 or 15 different cars. Maybe you're shopping a segment only to use it 5 or 7 times. That's fine. And then if you want an annual subscription, you can get that as well for $150 a year. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys found this video helpful. And if you have any questions about leasing or financing any car, it doesn't have to be this Toyota Tacoma, let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any questions about the DriveMatch calculator, also please let me know in the comment section below. Financial knowledge is power. Please like and follow for more.